Welcome back. I'm here with Football League editor Pascal Lemaire to talk about Saturday's Championship match between Burnley and Sheffield Wednesday. Start with the host Pascal. Back-to-back wins now put them into the top half of the table.
Yeah, certainly more form than you'd probably expect from a side who only came down from the Premier League last season. And I mean, they lost some key players, Ings, Trippier and Xhaka. We all know about that, but this is the sort of form they should be showing, especially last time out. They go to Bristol City, who have had a tough start to the season, and they were fairly comfortable there, 2-0 for the most part. They conceded a 95th minute goal to make it 2-1, but it was a fairly comfortable win for them. And like you say, back-to-back wins, just what they needed, because it had been a really slow start to the season. And when you look at the signings they made, the two most recent ones, Joey Barton and Andre Gray. I mean, Joey Barton, I'm not sure. I mean, he should still be a good midfielder for them, but you wonder the way his career's gone the last sort of 3 seasons, going to Marseille like he did, and saying he didn't want to play in the Championship for QPR, but then he did play in the Championship for QPR, and it's just a bit of a weird signing. I mean, he could be good for them, but you wonder now if he cares more about what he says off the pitch and how he appears off the pitch with his media work as well than how he actually plays on it. So I'm not sure that's the best signing. But Andre Gray from Brentford, it's a lot of money for a player who's only played league football for 1 season, but he should be good for them. But the interesting thing for them is they've now I mentioned when we were last here that they almost had too many strikers. I think they had 6 who probably say would want to play regularly, but now they've lost 3 of those very quickly. Jelle Vossen, who did well at Middlesbrough last season, he's now gone back to Belgium because of personal reasons. It just didn't work out. I'm not quite sure why, but that's a bit of an odd one. Marvin Sordell was always sort of last in the pecking order of all these strikers. They've cancelled his contract, so he's gone. Now they've lost Lukas Jutkiewicz as well because he's done his cruciate ligaments, so he's the latest one to go. So they've now lost 3 of those. And so you wonder, he almost had too many strikers, and now has he got enough? So it's kind of really swung there from one to the other. But so maybe not enough strikers, but one player who's really impressing is defender Michael Keane. He scored 3 goals last month, their top scorer, and he was nominated for Player of the Month as well. So that's a good sign. And yeah, back-to-back wins. They're showing the sort of form that you probably expect from a side who've still got a lot of good players.
As for Wednesday, they won on the opening day of the season. Still looking for their first victory since then, though. Yeah,
it was such an impressive start. There was a really good vibe around the club. Chansiri, the new owners, had ambitious. He sort of made ambitious signings, and that was a really impressive win against the League One champions on the opening day. But since then, it has been fairly sluggish from them. I mean, there's been a couple of standout performers. Marco Matthias, especially, he scored that wonder goal at Leeds United, and then last time out before the international break when they lost at home to Middlesbrough 3-1, he scored their goal in that game. So he is playing well for them. But apart from that, there's not really too much to shout about in sort of the last month or so. And some of the signings they've made, I mean, Barry Bannon's come in, the last couple of seasons, went to Crystal Palace, never worked out from there. Back in the Championship, he should be able to do things for them there. Forestieri is a good signing as well because Leeds were really after him, but I think there was rumours that he didn't want to go up north, but he's signed for Wednesday, which is only sort of 30 miles south of Leeds. So it's an interesting one there. They lost Stevie May. He's gone to Preston. I mean, I don't think that's the worst thing to lose him. He came down last summer from St Johnstone in Scotland. There was a lot of hype around him because he scored a lot of goals in Scotland, but he never looked quite good enough for the Championship. So I think they're probably glad Preston to take him off their hands. The biggest news, though, in the last sort of week, 2 weeks or so, is that Kieran Westwood signed a new deal. Great for them last season in goal, so he's signed a new deal for them, and that's a big thing for them because he missed the first couple of games of the season through injury, and they've only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 12 away games. So if he can get back to the form he showed last season, they might be able to start keeping teams out more.
And what's your prediction for this one?
I think it is a tough game to call. I think Burnley, they still haven't, when I've seen them this evening, even though they have won the last 2, they haven't been quite at their best, I don't think. And I think Wednesday, they're due a pretty good performance Wednesday. That since that opening day, they've slowed down a bit. So I think I'm going to go for a draw in this one, 1-1.
Sportsman are going for a 1-1 draw.